Come on in, it's open. Steve!
Hello.
How are you?
Okay.
Well, why were you knocking on the door?
Well, I was seeing if you liked, Squirrel Scout cookies.
Oh, I would love some Squirrel Scout cookies.
Yes. Do you happen to have any?
No, I don't. I thought that you were selling them.
No. Well, I figured if you didn't have any actually here, maybe you know how this this is like the 3-ingredient thing, and maybe you make things, and you might want to make me some Squirrel Scout cookies.
So you want me to make some 3-ingredient Squirrel Scout cookies?
Yes.
Well, what kind do you like?
I like the not so thick mints.
No, not so that's like Thin Mints?
Yeah, but we can't say those on here.
Okay, so we are going to make Squirrel Scout not so thick mint cookies.
Yes.
With 3 ingredients.
Yes.
Any other requests?
Can you make it vegan too? I have some friends who don't like animal products.
Okay, so this week we are going to make 3-ingredient Squirrel Scout not so thick mints vegan. Let's give it a try.
Yay!
Alright, so our first ingredient for this are chocolate wafers.
Wafers?
Yep.
Are
Now,
they like cookies?
what?
Are they like cookies?
They are like cookies. These are a very, very thin cookie that are
not so
used.
thick.
Yep, these ones are used for baking.
Baking?
Yep. People make icebox cakes and that sort of thing out
What's
of
an
them.
icebox cake?
That is cream, like it's whipped cream and these wafers, and then maybe I think a little bit of chocolate drizzle. It's pretty good. You put it in
People
the.
still have iceboxes now?
Well, they call them refrigerators now.
Oh, so the refrigerator.
Yeah, kind of a refrigerator cake. But we're not making that. We're making not so thick Squirrel Scout cookies.
Yes, vegan.
Vegan Squirrel Scout. So I checked the package on this, and this doesn't have any animal products in it. So these are vegan cookies. So we're going to use 1 dozen chocolate wafers.
Chocolate wafers.
Yep.
1 dozen of them.
1 dozen of them.
Is that 12?
That's 12.
Okay, so it's not a baker's dozen.
No, we're just going with a regular dozen.
A regular dozen.
Regular.
The baker doesn't get any.
No bakers.
Bakers can't be choosers.
You're cute.
Okay.
Our next ingredient is
Chocolate.
chocolate. We are going to use 7 ounces of a vegan dark chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're not concerned about animal products, you could use milk chocolate, or you could use another dark chocolate that does have milk products. This one is actually certified vegan. See, it says.
That's really tiny print. How do you read that?
I'm really old. It's hard for me to read it. But so about 7 ounces is 2 bars of.
Is it for a girlfriend?
What?
It says GF. It must be for the girlfriend.
That's gluten-free.
Oh!
But the cookies aren't gluten-free because they have flour in them.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
I get flowers to my girlfriend once.
Is it story time?
Oh, well, sorry.
2 bars of certified vegan chocolate. Steve, come back.
You called?
Well, we have 1 more ingredient to go.
Okay.
All right.
Well, what is it?
Well, you left.
Yeah, well, you told me. I was.
We just don't need story time. We need to get through the 3 ingredients so we can make the cookies, so you can have some cookies.
Oh, okay.
All right.
That's enough story time.
Yeah, we can eat cookies and have story time.
Okay.
All right. So our final ingredient is peppermint extract.
Peppermint extract.
Yep. Now this is definitely to taste. I would say probably about 1/2 to 3/4 of a teaspoon of that. You can put in as much as you want, but this peppermint extract, it's really, really strong stuff. I mean, just take a little sniff.
Woo!
Yeah, see? All right, let's see how to... I think Steve might have gotten a little bit more than a whiff of that, so let's see how to make these. Alright, so I have melted 1.5 bars of the chocolate. I just put this in the microwave, and I microwaved it for 20 seconds at a time until it was just about melted, and then I went 10 seconds at a time until it was fully melted. I reserved 1/4 of that chocolate, and I'm just going to put that into my melted chocolate. What this does is it tempers the chocolate. Often when you melt chocolate, especially a dark chocolate, it won't retain its shininess unless it's at the proper temperature. Now you can temper chocolate by using a thermometer and bringing it directly to the correct temperature, but that can be a difficult process, and usually if you just melt chocolate and then add in about 1/4 as much to about 1/2 as much and melt that in the melted chocolate, that will leave you with a nice shiny chocolate that has a good snap to it, and it doesn't look all bloomed, which is when the fats from the chocolate rise to the surface. Now once I have that all melted in, I'm going to take my peppermint extract. Because I don't want to overdo it, I'm just going to do a little at a time. I'm going for about 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon, and we can always test it and see if we need to add more. It's very difficult to add less, you'd have to add more chocolate, so I want to make sure that I have a light hand with this. So I went for about 1/2 teaspoon, maybe just a little bit more, just because this is a very dark chocolate. When you don't have any milk products in your chocolate, it's going to be very intensely flavored, and I want to make sure that you really taste that peppermint. So now I'm just going to drop my chocolate wafer cookies directly into my chocolate here. And then I just have a pair of tongs. You can do this with a couple of forks too, but I just have this little tiny pair of tongs to take it out. You're going to want to make sure to get most of the chocolate off of each cookie. Just let it drizzle back into the bowl, and then just lay it out. I've got some wax paper right here. This is waxed parchment paper. And now I'm just going to do that with each of the cookies. Alright, and now I'm just going to leave these on the counter to cool at room temperature. You could throw these into the fridge or the freezer to cool a little bit more quickly. I found that when you put chocolate into the fridge, you're really risking it gathering some moisture and not being nice and shiny. We have 12 lovely looking cookies right here, so I want to try to keep them as shiny as possible. We'll come back, and when they're dry, you can take a look at what they look like, and then we can see what Steve thinks of them. Okay, so these have been sitting, and they are now nice and solid. As you can see, they have a nice shine to them, which is good. You don't want to get that sort of bloomy whiteness that you get if you don't temper your chocolate well. So now we're just going to pop these onto a plate and see how Steve likes them.
Minty!
What do you think? Really?
Not so thick.
Not so thick?
Not so thick.
These are not so
Chocolate
thick.
minty.
They are chocolate. They are minty. They taste remarkably like the Girl Scouts, who are kind of like the Squirrel Scouts.
Yeah, but we can't do that.
Nope, we can't say that these are Girl Scout. These are Squirrel Scout, not so thick mint cookies.
Exactly.
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 But these are a great substitute if you're looking to make your very own thinner, mintier cookies. You can adjust the mint flavor. You can adjust the kind of chocolate that you want to make. You could even make thick mint cookies if you wanted to.
Ooh.
Yeah. So if you wanted to try a different kind of cookie inside, experiment with it. This is just an enrobed cookie that's really delicious, and I think that we're going to have some and have some story time, and it'll be a good time. Yay! Well, thanks for joining me, Steve.
Welcome. How are making the cookies?
Yeah. So if people want to see more 3-ingredient recipes, what can they do?
They can subscribe.
Subscribing really helps a lot. If you hit the little red button down below, you will subscribe, and if you hit the little red bell next to it, that will notify you when we have a new video. And we have.
You mean I should have done the doorbell rather than knocking on the door?
We don't have a doorbell in this apartment.
Oh.
Yeah. What else can people do?
You lost me at the bell.
You could comment.
Comment!
Yep, why don't you let us know what kind of recipe you would like us to make with 3 ingredients. If you have any sort of dietary restriction or any type of dietary preference.
Sorry, I didn't mean to put your hair.
Then you can leave that down below, and we'll try to make a recipe that will suit your needs. And finally, you can share. Yep. Sharing these videos helps us out a whole lot. If you want to just share this on Twitter or on Facebook, or just email it to your friends and let them know that we make 3-ingredient recipes every Thursday. We also have Sullivan. You know Sullivan.
I know Sullivan.
Yep.
Is he one of those dogs?
Yep, he's one of the dogs, and he wants to be super famous. And he's on Wednesdays, and then on weekends we have.
That consultant guy really, he's weird.
He is a little bit weird.
Creepy.
Yeah. Have you met the worm?
A worm?
Clark.
Worms are icky.
And finally, on weekends, we have George.
George?
Yeah, you know George. He's a cat.
Oh, yeah. The other squirrel.
The other squirrel usually hangs around with George. So, plenty of stuff for you to watch. We appreciate you coming around this time, and we will see you again next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.